Welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with my lovely, lovely co-host, Denise. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I am doing wonderfully, outstandingly marvelous.
Oh, wow.
So
Three big words in a row.
they were more than four letters. Well, it was. So, Denise,
Yes.
what movie are you recommending for our audience this week?
All right. I'm recommending a Netflix original. I originally thought it was a 2020 or a 2021 movie, but it was actually a 2016 movie, but very, very good. I enjoyed it. The movie is called Tallulah, starring Allison Janney, whom I love, and Ellen Page and Tammy Blanchard. And the movie is about a young woman played by Ellen Page, a young feral woman who's just, living off the land, living out of her van, just, eating out of trash cans, that sort of thing, stealing from people. And she does all this with her boyfriend at the moment. But during their travels, they get into a little disagreement and he takes off and she doesn't know where he is. And so she begins a search to find him, and she remembers where his mother's apartment is. And so that is Allison Janney plays his mother. Well, before she even crosses paths with her, she wanders into a hotel and she's kind of eating off of the leftover plates from people's room service, and she's eating out of this one plate, and this woman opens a door who is distraught and drunk, and she invites her in thinking she's part of the housekeeping staff, and she asks her to babysit her kid while she goes out. So this woman is struggling with motherhood and dealing with an infant, and probably some postpartum depression going on, and she just runs off. So Ellen Page is now responsible for this child, and she just keeps it moving with this child. And fast forward, she ends up at Allison Janney's apartment, and she tells her that she is her son's girlfriend and this is their baby. So she convinces Allison Janney to take her in, and reluctantly she does. And she kind of, takes care of them, but she's kind of got to give them their side eye and not sure, if this girl is on the up and up. But as the movie progresses, they do sort of create a bond, even though it's under false pretenses. And eventually the young girl is caught by the police because, all over the news, they're talking about this kidnapped baby. And have you seen this woman? Their surveillance tape, which kind of put the nail in her coffin. So it was interesting to watch, because I'm like, who does this? Who gives their child to a stranger, and then who knocks on someone's door pretending to be someone that they are not, and relationships develop. Good acting though. So if you are looking for something that's not so new on Netflix, check out Tallulah. I enjoyed it.
Okay, so my recommendation for this week is A Quiet Place 2, starring a very brief, very brief showing of John Krasinski, Killian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Noah Jope, and Millicent Simmons. Quiet Place 2 starts off with day one. Day one is the day that Earth was invaded by aliens. the Abbotts and almost everybody else in town were attending a Little League softball game. And while they were there, people noticed from the sky a fireball that was coming out of the sky. And, they reacted, how people should react. It's like, hey, let's get our kids and get the heck out of here and get to a safe place. And so this is what they did. This is what they did. So this first day was as they were fleeing the softball field to get to a safe place. This was their first encounter with the aliens. All right. And, not knowing anything about them, not knowing that, you had to be quiet, right? That they're super strong, fast, right? And hard to kill, right? This was the first horrifying encounter that the Abbotts and the people of the town had with the aliens. This movie wasn't good as the first one. Was as good as Quiet Place 1. Was Quiet Place 2 good? I'm going to say it was pretty good. All right. I still like Quiet Place 1 better, but this was really a good follow-up to the first one. Millicent Simmons, who played Reagan, she was absolutely fantastic in this movie. You're going to love her. The girl she's brave, right? And she's resourceful, and she was really, really the star of the show with Cillian Murphy, who played Emmett. So my recommendation for this week is A Quiet Place 2. So
Denise, that's my name.
I was strolling, right?
Please.
So Denise, who is your nailed it for this week?
My nailed it for this week is my man, Eddie Murphy, in the movie Dolomite Is My Name. And this movie will have you hollering. And Eddie Murphy playing any character is worth the price of admission. So he plays Rudy Ray Moore and his alter ego, Dolomite, the hustler, the shameless self-promoter who's desperately seeking for validation of his talent as a recording star and a recording actor in LA. There were moments where I hollered, laughed out loud, and there were times when my mouth was just open because I couldn't believe what he was saying and what he was doing. So that is my nailed it, my man, Eddie Murphy.
So my nailed it this week is, I'm going to stay with the theme of A Quiet Place. It's going to be Emily Blunt as Evelyn Abbott in Quiet Place *1. You got to give it to her because she was, I'm going to refer to the scene that she was in. She was having contractions and she was going down the steps to the basement. And anybody that has seen A Quiet Place 1, a nail had popped up, right? And you knew somebody was going to step on it. And you kind of figured it was going to be her. And she did, while she was having contractions. And she didn't scream. She was having contractions. And then she went into labor. And then she had the baby trying to get away from the creatures in the house. And she did all this without screaming or singing or doing a sound. So my nailed it is Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place 1.
All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, have you seen it, with Charles and Denise, and there we will be.
Audience, thank you for joining us for another quiet episode of Have You Seen It with Charles and Denise. And we're out.
Bye-bye. Boy, bye.